Hello everyone, this is my review of set 10497 Galaxy Explorer. Now, of course, if we can look in that bottom right corner, we can see it is for the 90 years of play LEGO did back in 2022, and this set has 1,254 pieces and retails. I'm pretty sure it's still on shelves. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have retired, but if it's still on shelves, it's $100. If not, I don't know, because I haven't looked it up. But nonetheless, let's get into this amazing set. The first thing we're going to look at is our little cart here. Now, usually I do the minifigs first, but right here, I want to save the minifigs for last. So we have this little buggy here, which we can actually sit one of our minifigs on. If we take our little white astronaut, we can sit him here. And of course, you cannot actually grab the steering wheel, but you can spin it if you want. There's a little light at the front, and the wheels actually, work, as you know, with LEGO wheels. And at the back, we have a little hole, and these, we will see, there's actually something we can connect to later on in the set. So looking at this magnificent beast of a ship, we're just going to look at the overall shaping first. We can see it has, a nice arrowhead design with, this flat edge here, and then, the nice... It's all just so greatly tiled off. All the techniques used to make it look this nice were really weird, but as you can see, it turned out great. And looking at it, we can see some blasters on the fronts with some weapons, and those are the only weapon systems on the ship. Like, these days, X-Wings and TIE Fighters, they got blasters all over, but these are just, little cannons, I guess. And underneath, we will actually see some landing gear, which can be retracted. And we have 3 landing gear on this, and we can actually just set it down like this, but there's actually a back door on the back here that we can open, but for that, we need our landing gear to be open. Now, the way that you land it is you just have to pull it down, and sometimes it's a little bit of a hassle, but in the end, I think it's a compromise, and it really, the landing gear does look spectacular on this. Looking at the back, we have some nice red thrust here. We have 4 boosters, and these actually do something cool, which we'll get to later. And we can have this. We have a nice fin up here, and with these, we can actually pull these away, and inside, we will see a little bay, like a little docking bay, I guess? I don't know. And in here, we can see this little detail, which shows, a nice brick built area for a little white triangle, I guess. That looks really cool. It was really weird to build, but in the end, I think it turned out pretty good. We have some tools here with it being a wrench, and over here being a walkie-talkie. And sorry, guys. And over here, we have a door into the interior, which we will get to momentarily. We have some lights here, and that cart I showed you earlier, we can set it right here, but some kids, they'll like to just set it in here, and it can also fit with our spaceman. We can see it all nicely closed up, and we can see our spaceman is perfect in there, but you can actually also drop this piece down, and you can pull the entire ramp out like this, and we can drive our little buggy right on up here. Then we can lift this up, and you can watch the wheels as I push it in. They just move like that. We have some Technic pins here, so that when you pull this out, it doesn't just fall, and you have to pull it to a certain degree for them to go under the Technic pins, so that keeps it nice and sturdy, and we can push that back up and fold her back in. Now, we have some lights at the back here, and a lot of, nice tiling there. We have some, cautionary stuff, I guess. And then, from the front head on, it really does look pretty cool, I must say. And we're gonna go look at these boosters now. We do have 2 of them. They're kind of hard to get off. Sometimes you take some of these clip pieces with you, and that can sometimes be a little bit mad. And looking at the front, we have this little pod here. We're gonna grab another one of our space minifigures. We're gonna grab this guy, and we can set him on here. And we have some levers that we can pull up for his hands. There's one for his right hand, and here's one for his left hand. Now, looking at this, it does look really creepy and cursed, but I will say it's a fun playability aspect, because as you can see, it's just a nice booster. Then you can land it, and then you can pop this off, and you can actually push it in like this, but I'm not going to. And we have some nice, and it's just a little fun, escape pod, I guess. That's really cool, in my opinion. That's a really fun. And we'll talk about the minifigures later, and I really do like this set. It has a lot of designs that you really wouldn't see on a modern day LEGO set, but I gotta say, they really do work for this set. Anyway, we're going to remove him because we need him later on. So looking at this front here, we can see a printed piece here that says LL928. Also to note, there are no stickers in this set, which that's always a bonus. And we can see a nice red light that's also on this side. Some little like antenna here, and now finally we're going to move into the interior. So looking at the front, we can see the cockpit, but definitely my biggest gripe about the set is you'll see right there that this piece is scratched up. It was in the bag. These days with these pieces, like on my UCS X-Wing, it was in a separate bag, so that way it wasn't scratched up by all the other pieces rubbing against it. And I mean, I can probably contact LEGO and they'll send me a replacement piece, but that's just definitely not fun to see when when your cockpits get scratched up, and I really don't like that. But that's probably like my only gripe about the set. And looking inside, we can lift up these pieces here. We'll get to that back one in a second. And yeah, this is a pretty sizable interior. We can see we have a lot of control panels there and some steering wheels here. And I have taken out all our astronauts, and we actually have some seats there, which we can set the back tiles of their legs onto some studs. I gotta look and so align them, but if we can't, hold on, wait, I'm gonna put them all in and I'll show you what it looks like. Now we can see it from head on with all our minifigures inside, and I must say, it really does look good. We can also see this piece here that shows we can see it's an actual representation of like a hologram of the ship, and we can tell it's like the arrowhead design with the two like glass pieces there, and then the triangles represents all 4 boosters on the set. So there's nothing much else going for it. There's a little hallway behind there, but you can't exactly access it. It's just for show. And now moving back, we'll actually get to the med bay, I guess. So also like this bumps into this as you open it. So that's probably another downer, if any. But I gotta say, that's probably fine in my opinion, because if you have them both up as high as they can go, that's as high. And honestly, I have to say, I'm changing my mind. That's probably not a bad thing. Like, you can access the interior really good here, and there's a lot of finger space for your minifigs. And we're also going to take these white guys, and back here we can see some pods here, and you'll see a little indentation right there, and that is for their jetpacks. So when you lay them down, they actually fit pretty flush with it, and their backpacks just go inside the chair. And that really does look cool there. There are also a bunch of studs around there, and you can place another one of your minifigs there. There's like some levers and some control panels there, and you'll actually see this crate thingy. We have them on both sides of the ship. On this side, we have a couple of blasters that you can put in their hands, and that is actually what goes on these little holes on the bike here. So you can have them have it, and then they can get on the bike and just store them right there. That's while they're driving back to the ship, I guess. And then on this side, we do not have any blasters. We have a jetpack. Now, they all have jetpacks, so it's a little curious why there's a jetpack in here, but I don't know. It's just something fun that they like to throw in crates, and yeah, that's probably all I have to say about this. I told you all I would show you the minifigs. So we have 4 astronauts in this set, 2 red ones and 2 white ones, and they all are pretty unique. They take the print from the old heads, although you can tell they are not the old heads, and they just borrow that print because it's supposed to be like the set from like the 90 years thing, from like 80s, and it's just like updated. So they've just updated the minifigures. And we have that classic space logo that's also on a tile there on the ship. And it's on all 4 of their torsos. And they have jetpacks corresponding to their colors. Same with legs and helmets. And they did note in the instructions they used harder plastic because the earlier helmets tended to this little bar on the bottom. They tended to crack really easily. And that's definitely not good. So they said they used harder plastic for these. So that should not happen again. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. And they also introduced a brown alien in the series, well, brown space guy in the series 24 CMF. And it has a little blue baby with him. And of course, you can just get that, and then he can now be a part of your ship. And I think that's really cool and something fun to add to the set. overall, this is a great set for $100. Like, 1,254 pieces, that's pretty good. When it first came out, I found it at Walmart for $75, and man, that was a steal. It was like, man, I was like, it seemed like half price for 1,254 pieces. Like, these days, like, the Star Wars sets have, like, a little over 1,000 pieces, and are, like, $150. Of course, that's probably Star Wars and Disney tax added on. But this set, I have to say, it really is perfect. Like, yeah, the windows being scratched, that's something LEGO can do with the shipping. But the set itself, that is perfect. This set is a 10 out of 10, and I gotta say, if you want a perfect LEGO set, you need to go and buy one of these right now. Now, that's gonna wrap up today's review. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.